a myth. So we're curious when meeting someone or wanting to get to know someone, but sometimes the curiosity, it kills any possible relationship. We're going to share with you 7 suggested questions you should never ask someone you're not close to. And even then, if you're going to ask, tread carefully. Tread carefully. So, how much money you make? How much money you make? It's only acceptable to ask questions like that if you're like you're looking at a job and you're talking to your employer, you know, so? Or an employer interviewing a prospective employee, and you need to know the person's salary history so that you can make some kind of judgment on where this should go. And when you have a domestic partner with whom you've merged your finances, so if you're husband and wife, common law husband and wife, them time they can talk about how much money you have, how much me have, because we have to work out who's going to pay what and how we're going to manage the bills.
And sometimes even then, you have couples who share that aspect but have separate accounts.
Correct.
Because
we said this is what the bill is. If we're going to split it 50-50, let's do a joint account. I'll put this in, you put that in.
But
outside of the joint account, you don't really have to know where nobody else's money are going.
Well, yeah, ask that for up front.
How much money
why
you
is
make?
that important to you, sir or ma'am? Why is
So-
that like a precursor to something?
So though,
Pre-qualifier?
it may not, the question might not be how much money do you make, but
How much money
it
you
is
have?
an important question because, yeah man, finances, not up front. Well,
Getting to know somebody?
that's why I say it's not how much money you make, but there has to be some kind of financial conversation.
Up front? When you meet somebody?
Yeah, we have some kind of financial
Up
conversation.
front?
Yeah, but it not to be this in depth though, Simone. But
Yes, sir.
and you can find out those things, you know. If I ask you what are some of the things that you like to do, depending on your response,
You can tell.
I can hazard a guess.
You say, I like to go cruising in the summer.
Yeah. May I say, oh, you can't afford for cruise, or me can't go cruise, but hey, okay. So either you, well, I was going to say that you waste money, but if you have it to go on a cruise, you have it.
Exactly.
But I tell you something, finances, that's one of the #1 things that destroys relationships.
It is the #1 thing.
See
We
it
call
there?
it financial infidelity.
See that?
Financially.
#1 thing.
Yeah.
And if you put that on the table from day one, you're cool. You're cool.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to date someone and see them dead, yeah? Way up to the sky. So you're driving a nice car, next thing you know, somebody come for the car. You know, the house light cut off. You say, oh, light cut off. So discuss it. Are you pregnant?
Okay, carry on then.
A woman who is not pregnant but is simply overweight may already be struggling with low self-esteem or poor health, so to mistakenly ascribe her heaviness to pregnancy is to add insult to injury. If a woman looks pregnant, she might actually be, but that doesn't mean she's ready to tell people yet, let alone a complete stranger.
It also doesn't make it any of your business.
We have flag did ask,
I have a
people still
serious
ask, but
pet peeve.
I know how to respond.
People ask you that? Oh, you're the right
Up
person to ask.
up to a month ago, someone messaged someone to ask if I am, and I know they're watching now, and I said, well, only my OBGYN should ask or should know.
Oh, well,
That
that's
time my baby
tame.
father.
Because the last
No, because of
person,
who them sent for asking me,
Oh,
had to answer
because the last
tamely.
person who asked you that you did.
Yes.
Yes.
I wasn't so tame.
No.
Depends
no.
on who asks me. I don't know what's the fascination though with people's knowing if people are pregnant.
So this.
I don't know why
this-
people often know if you're pregnant. Yeah, baby. Why?
People who know me well or who've been on my timeline know this is one of the worst things that you can do to somebody is to ask them that or to suggest that it's time that they do, to ask them what them waiting on, or not married, or not wait upon, why don't have no picnic yet. Or you do not know a person's circumstance. You do not know what someone has been through. That swollen belly could be fibroids
Yeah.
that need surgery. it could be some other illness that the person is not willing to talk about. That person whom you ask about why they haven't had kids yet may have had 6 miscarriages, and you are sending them down a road of despair and sadness, and do not do it.
There's a lady that came here for a broadcast we had, and this very same topic. She came to me quietly, and she said because of her certain issues, she said people are always asking, and she said it rips her. She literally was crying, and I had to pull her into a corner right here in the studio and hold her. And it wasn't just her tears that run down. She was bawling because people kept asking her. And I was so mad because I'm saying, this is just a glib question to you. And you don't know how it... So that's why when it comes, when me answer,
well,
if it's not the right person asks me, the answer is going to come in a way that y'all are going to tear your eyes out and say, oh. But it seems if we don't get you to understand, you can't ask people those things. It's not your business. If you're not an OBGYN, if you are not the other parent of the child, why you want to know? You're going to help the people and pay school fee? You're going to pay the doctor bill? Are you planning a baby shower?
But
if you're not doing none of the above,
it's stressful.
Stop fasting.
I work with enough people over that already. I mean, I've posted it on my. I've gone public with it. I have suffered 3 miscarriages. 3 miscarriages, and every time somebody asks me, "You don't think it's time Arent has a sister or a brother?" I think to myself. I asked one. I mean, I literally got into it with one woman. I had to ask her, "What you know about me? What do you know about somebody?" So don't do that, because you send people back to a place. You don't know somebody's story, and until you know that person's, even if you know the person's story, you know, it's not a question.
Be sensitive.
It's not a question. You should
Be sensitive. So the next one, why aren't you married? You want to marry me? That must be why you're asking me. Why aren't you married? Why are you? Because somebody asks a question like that, why did anybody marry you? You're so messy. Stop it. Stop it. You don't know what the person may have ended a marriage. You don't know. You're not a lawyer. They may be really emotional. There are people who, we had Nadine Blair here, and thankfully, you know, Nadine is okay. But Nadine was like, we were 2 weeks away from the wedding, and we had to call it off. So when you see somebody, why aren't you married? You don't know what you're digging up. Leave people business alone. Don't ask people why they're not married. And it doesn't have to be any main reason. Suppose I'm just not want married.
Correct. I have a lot of friends who are not interested. They are not interested in becoming wives. They're not interested in becoming husbands. They're not interested in having children. And that's okay. It's a thing. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with it.
When the man said on your page, me not married, so don't follow Delia because she hate man.
Yes.
And I'm like, I what?
Wait, so...
She hate man because she not married and she don't have no children, so she hate man. So the bar on which to judge whether a woman likes men is if she has a child or if she marries one.
And the interesting point you make there came out of the next point, because that man was actually, so that man pulled Delia into a message that he sent to me on social to say, why you don't tell people you're divorced? You're not lonely as a woman who have no man and so and so and so. No follow Delia Harris and 8 man, you must find somebody. This is somebody messaging me on my page. I don't know where he is now, because I told him any other message he has to send, he can send it via Telegram. Because I blocked you. But then, you know, if you pull in Harris into that, no, it's not going to end so well.
No, I told him, I said, sir, I don't hate men. I just hate waste men who find time to go on social media to say things about women. Which makes me wonder, you know, why are you so obsessed with men?
Essentially.
And if men are in a relationship, is there something you want to say? And you need support.
Bitter. They say women are bitter, but men are... and the inverse is true for this question. Why aren't you married is inappropriate. Why are you divorced is also inappropriate. You can ask me, but you may not like the
No,
answer.
ask. Don't ask.
But you won't like the answer.
You have to ask if you ask. Why don't you want or have kids? I think we covered that one already.
We did. We did.
Do you believe in God? They say don't ask, but I personally don't have an issue with it.
Yeah.
I don't have an issue
And it's
with
an important question.
Yeah.
Values-based, especially if you realize you're heading down a serious road with somebody.
Yeah, you have to know.
It is very important
You have
to
to
know.
know. You have to know. Because some people feel very strongly about whether they do or they don't believe in God, and you don't want to be in a relationship with someone, and you have a very strong Christian-based experience, and this person, no.
Yeah.
You know, so you need to find out. Hey, how much does your house, rent, car, or child's tuition cost? I don't mind you asking me these questions. After you ask me though, the next thing to complete the sentence should be, because I'm going to lodge some money to your account. Because if I don't give you, gonna give me money for pay for my house, my rent, my car, or my child's tuition, why would you want to know?
But 10 chances to 1, you don't even want the money from them either. You know?
No, well, if they're going to pay for my house, me take it. That don't mean you can't come there. But if you feel generous, I don't have a problem with it. But, so let me say this. It may be, and so I'll ask people, but I won't say. I'll say, you know, I'm interested in, if you live in a particular area, I'll say, Sim, I notice you live in a particular area. I was thinking of getting a home. Can you give me a range?
Yeah.
I don't want you to tell me the exact
Point
amount.
blank.
Can you give me a range
Yeah.
of what that costs?
Yeah.
Or if I see a car, I say, I won't buy a car, but my sense of cost of cars is kind of, can you give me a range? So I'll give you enough room to tell me between here and there, because I don't want to know exactly what it is.
Correct.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Which
Which is fine.
This one, you know.
You really want us to go here, Scotty?
How many people have you been intimate with? I'm rephrasing for maybe
Yes.
young ones might be watching. How many people have you been intimate with?
TV. Some people may not want to know the answer to that question.
So what if I say me no member? Where do we go from there? That's why I don't like people ask me questions.
That's not.
Don't ask me no idiot questions. Simone, let me tell you, my threshold for idiot question is very low. And if you ask me an idiot question, I'm going to give you an idiot answer that you're going to spend weeks trying to figure out.
Oh, guys.
Why are you asking that question?
People's experiences and stories are theirs to tell when they're ready to tell it, if they're ready to tell it. Otherwise, if you breach these, you are just being invasive, insensitive, rude, oftentimes, and you may not be aware, you know, because I find especially that when you're going to have children, thing is one that comes without people thinking.
Top of mind, top of them head.
Because somebody actually messaged me and said, boy, I didn't really think about it like that, because apparently she said it to somebody and the lady was like, I've had like, Clive, are you having a show by yourself? What are you doing? Said that the person who responded to her was very shaken up by her question because she had gone through some really terrible experiences where, and the pressure on women, on some women who are trying to have children and they can't have children, and then to have people keep asking them, when you're going to have children, when you're going to have children, when you're going to have children. It's the stuff that breaks people. So just be sensitive. You don't know a person's situation. So just be sensitive. Think about it before you ask.
Emotional intelligence. We need to work on
exactly
it. We need
right.
to work on it. I mean, this says the number of partners someone has had in the past could be embarrassing, whether because it's too many or too few in society's opinion, or because the person has lost count and just doesn't want to admit it, which they'll tell you they never really do. They'll make up a number and give it to you if they feel the number is something that's going to be off-putting. I don't know if I'm so concerned with how many as I'm concerned with the quality of what those relationships have been.
Serious relationships.
Right. So if you've been engaged or married, that I would probably want to know, because I'd want to know what would have ended it, And what have you taken from that experience that's going to make another relationship a better relationship?
How many serious relationships have you been in? So you can figure out.
All right, so news,
Yes.
they tell me.
Yes.
That's it for Girl Talk. Still to come, Greg Owens' art, but after the break, it's News in 5.